excited to be with everyone tonight because I love summer programs. I think they can be life-changing, and I think there's such a great opportunity to explore new areas of interest, to explore college campuses, and as you will see this evening, to explore different parts of the world. So what will you learn today? First, we're going to talk about the why behind the summer program essay prompts. And this program isn't about summer programs as a whole, but specifically to help students who are very concerned about the application essay. So that's what we're going to talk about in detail. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts when writing application essays. We're going to give you some examples of successful and unsuccessful essays. We have our amazing college students that are sharing their examples and experiences with us. And then we will learn how to use the Kyros platform to guide you through the process. So first, let's talk about the why behind the essays for summer programs. Most summer programs, even if they are not super selective or choosing students, will have some sort of essay question on their application. Why are they asking you these questions? What is the why behind the essay prompts? First, they want to know that you are putting some thought into why you want to participate in that particular program. They want to know that each student in their program will be an interested and engaged participant, not a troublemaker or uninvolved. They want to know that the student wants to be there, not that the parent is just forcing the student to do this program. Second, they want to know that you can write clearly. They want to know if you're intellectually curious. Will you ask questions during that summer program? Will you truly seek to learn? Will you take what you have learned in the program and apply it to your education, to your classes at your middle school or your high school, or your community after the program ends? There might be one question on the application that asks for an essay, or there might be up to 5. The most common question on a summer program application is why you've selected that summer program, that specific program. Another essay question may ask about your interest or background in the subject matter of the course. There may be questions about your background story, often called a personal statement. There may be questions about a challenge or adversity you have faced, or if the program wants a diverse group of students, which many do, there may be a question about how you are diverse. That diversity can include geography. The program may want students from all over the country, all over its state, or all over the world. It can include economic or racial diversity, or different types of high schools and curriculums, and even diverse academic interests. So there are generally 2 types of application essays. There's a long response essay where they want 250 words or more, maybe even up to 700 words. And then there's a short response essay. These are often quick takes. They just want short answers, and they usually don't ask for much elaboration, like what's your favorite book or what's your favorite snack? They can just be kind of fun questions. They're to find out more about your personality. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just fun. The long questions, they want extended answers, and it can be on personal topics or societal topics and your interests, as we've discussed. And these questions require explanation and an elaboration. Most often, it's why this class or this program. And you want to be very careful of that word count, because if they're asking for 500 words, then you want to have at least over 450 words. You want to be very close to the maximum number of words that they give you. So let's go over some more of those. We'll love these. We've got some wonderful students with us today. So I am first going to turn the time over to Clara, who's going to talk about some of her summer programs briefly, and then talk about one in particular. Clara.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to meet you all. My name is Clara. I'm a freshman at the University of Pennsylvania. So I guess just a little bit about the summer programs I did. When I was younger in high school, like going into 9th grade or going into 10th grade, my, I guess, strategy was really just to learn everything that I could. And I didn't really know much about anything. And so what I wanted to do, so I just did random stuff. I knew I wanted to take French in high school, so I did a summer program about that. And I decided to do the Foundation of Economic Education because it was free and it was somewhere that was not in my home in Arizona. So I was like, why don't I do that? There's really no rhyme or reason behind that. But I ended up having a really great time. So I did it again the next year. And again, continued to explore. I did journalism programs and speech and debate camp. And I loved that program again, that I decided to do another economics program after 10th grade, I believe. So that was really great. But I also did the Yale Young Global Scholars program after 10th grade, which is what I believe is discussed on the next slide. So go to that. Awesome. So the Yale Young Global Scholars program is hosted by Yale, obviously. And it's really, it has a variety of sessions from politics and economics to STEM to literature and philosophy and culture. And I did a seminar on literature, culture, and philosophy. It's 2 weeks spent at Yale, and you're attending seminars with really esteemed faculty, authors of books, winners of various awards. And you're also having smaller breakout seminar classes with peers that are from all over the world. So you're discussing really relevant topics with people that have a lot of really interesting experience, you know, being from places like China or Kenya or anywhere in Europe or South America, like everywhere, from anyone from around the world is at this camp. And I now have friends from all corners of the earth. And so it's a really cool program to meet a bunch of different people. And I would say it is generally a more selective program for sure. But if we move on to the next slide, I can talk a bit about the application. So this is the application. It's fairly straightforward, but it does take time. It has several essays. And you can find this on the YYGS website, and it'll ask you what seminar you want to do, what classes within that seminar you want to take. So it will require a little bit of research, but we've put in one of my essays that I can share with you guys on the next slide.
Marzuk, and Marzuk's a current high school senior, and he is a National Merit semifinalist and a brand new U.S. presidential scholar candidate. Marzuk is on the robotics team and is very interested in tech, possibly aeronautical engineering, computer science, everything in that realm. So he started exploring with different programs in 8th grade, starting with the Summer Engineering Academy at the University of Arizona, then the AI for All at Arizona State University. Then the next summer, he did the Stanford Pre-Collegiate Summer Institute. So that's what we're going to talk about today. He's gave me his essays to share with you. The next slide tells a little bit about the Stanford Pre-Collegiate Summer Institutes. There's many different programs on many different topics. So it's a great chance to be on a college campus and to meet other students that are outside of your own high school bubble, and to really go into topics in depth and see if it's something that you would like to do in the future. For his essay, one of his prompts was, what is your greatest challenge that you have faced so far, and how do you achieve your goal? What did you learn about yourself in the process? And we have 300 words. You know, that could be really overwhelming. What is your greatest challenge that you have faced so far? Again, don't be too overwhelmed. Think about why they're asking you this and what you have to show. So he talked about a really interesting robotics experience that he had, and I'll read the first part to you. One of the greatest challenges I have faced is assembling a 3-pound robot for a competition the next day. I had already designed it, modeled it, and 3D printed parts I needed and began assembly. However, when in the computer-aided design phase, I was a perfectionist. Due to the design, I wanted to give as little clearance as possible between the wheels and underside of the robot. Thus, I made them both perfectly flush with a gap of approximately 2 millimeters. Okay, that's his introduction, and he goes and he tells about the problem and what happened. Again, he took a real life experience to answer this question and show that he can write clearly, that he can explain it, and that he's very interested in robotics and CAD design and such for this program. I am next going to turn the time over to Aimee. Aimee is a senior at the University of Pennsylvania in the Wharton School of Business, and Aimee also did a great variety of programs to hone in her interests. Aimee, take it away.
Hi everyone, it's great to be here. So here's like a little overview of the programs I did over the summers during high school, and I approach it similar to Clara, where I just explored my interests and was able to get a variety of things in to like pursue what I wanted to do, and also learn like which paths I didn't want to pursue. So there's a mix of like engineering, speech and debate, economics, and like leadership in the programs that I did over the 3 summers during high school. And the next slide shows we'll cover the Foundation for Teaching Economics. So they have they're this organization that has a like wide variety of summer programs all over the nation on college campuses, which I thought was really attractive because I would be able to pick a college that I was interested in, like not only learn and do the program, but also just like explore the campus and see if that was like a right fit for me. So I did the Economics for Leaders program, but now they also have 2 other programs, and they have programs in like UCLA, Notre Dame. The one that I did was at Brown. And all of them have the same application and the same essay. So on the next slide, it has this essay prompt that they want you to focus on, and it is: what qualities make someone a good leader? Describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others or assisted in resolving a conflict. So this is a longer essay and falls into the category of like having you explain more and just focus on, like, you get to choose what you want to focus on, and also just like really delving into it. So I focused on these are the phrases at the bottom are some of the things that you could focus on. And in my essay, I had focused on like my own personal leadership experience with my extracurriculars in high school, like National Honor Society and speech and debate. And I also reflected about like what I wanted to get out of this program as a leader. So I think that's really important, like not just like saying what you do, but also like reflecting on it and also like telling them your aspirations for what you want to get out of this program. And another really interesting program is the Bank of America Student Leaders Program. This was probably my favorite program that I did in high school. And I think it was also my parents' favorite program because it was free and I was also paid. But this is a really unique program in that they choose, they are split by like metro areas. So in each metro area, around like 3 to 5 students are chosen to be a Bank of America student leader, and you're paired for 8 weeks with a nonprofit like Boys and Girls Club or Habitat for Humanity, and you work there basically full-time for those 8 weeks. And one of those 8 weeks you get an all expenses paid trip to Washington DC, where you like develop more leadership skills, and it's for rising seniors and also seniors that just graduated. And it's a really great leadership program because it really gave me a lot of content to write about for my common application. But also to get into this program, there were a lot of essays that I had to do, and these are all of the essay prompts that are for the program in 2022. And as you can see, a lot of them center around leadership, around community and volunteer events, around like personal growth. So I think these essays are shorter, but they're also easier to write because they're a lot more specific in like what they want from you. And if you guys notice, number 6 is the longest one because it's the why Bank of America and the why. So that's like from those like different like hints, like if an essay is longer, for example, you can tell like they want to know more about you and they want to hear more about that. But like Clara said, like you don't have to know exactly or like be like have like a novel, just like tell the truth, like talk about your experience and just like talk about your passion and like who you are and like why you want to do the program. So on the next slide is an example of one of the essays. This was actually from my Common App, but it just shows how you incorporate like speech and debate or like any other extracurricular into a different into like an essay prompt. And this is a little more robust because it was for my Common App. So I think I did have like a lot of preparation writing essays from like summer programs, but this one like tied around a central theme of like philosophy from speech and debate. And through this I tied in speech and debate. I was able to tie in a lot of like the volunteer activities I did. I was also able to tie in my Bank of America program where I worked with a Boys and Girls Club. So I think writing an essay, just like pick a topic that you're really passionate about, and like it's easy to like start from that topic and just like build out around it.
Thank you so much, Aimee. I'm going to go ahead and read this first paragraph, if you don't mind, Aimee, because I just think it's so great and it does exactly what you said. I first encountered philosophy when I joined speech and debate freshman year. Okay, immediately she's taking an intellectual curiosity that she gained from an activity. At my first speech and debate tournament, I was bombarded with philosophical jargon, Locke's social contract, Rawls' veil of ignorance, truth testing, moral nihilism. I had no idea what any of those terms meant. Okay, she's honest. You don't have to have known everything, but this exposure sparked my curiosity. Perfect. As soon as I got home, I Googled Locke's social contract and dove headfirst into the now not so boring complex world of philosophy. Ever since that night, I've been swimming deeper and deeper into the bottomless ocean of philosophy, and my newfound understanding of it has helped me grow into the person I am today. Again, it's very taking what she did and making it very reflective. Thank you so much, Aimee. I just had to share that. I think it's just great. Next, we have Allie, who's a junior at Stanford and class president too. Allie did some really remarkable summer programs also, and she's going to tell us about them.
Hi, everyone. So as you can see, this is kind of a spread of some of the summer programs and activities I was involved in over the summer. As you can see, I had a strong background in speech and debate. So a lot of my summer was often like revolving different speech and debate like activities, but also I just allowed myself to grow in interest every summer as I discovered new things I was passionate about. Now I'm going to focus on two specific programs. I guess we can move to the next slide and I'll start on the first one. I had this knowledge that I knew I wanted to travel, and when I was in high school, traveling, it's quite expensive, but there are also, and I quickly realized this, plenty of opportunities to travel at a cheap cost, a discounted cost, or in some cases for free. An example of this was the National Geographic Mundo Student Explorers program. For this program, I was selected as one of 2 recipients out of 200 applicants from North America to attend an all-expense paid National Geographic student expedition. Now, they have these student expeditions all over the world. I originally applied as wanting to go to Bhutan, but because of timing of my summer, I ended up going to Iceland and doing a mini documentary with National Geographic researchers on climate change. The application process was relatively simple, something similar to a college application, but a little bit less. It included a recommendation letter and a very open-ended essay. And then I found out about it from friends who had done it before and posted about it on social media, as well as this Twitter account, which I think is still active, called Volunteer Nation. And they frequently tweet out summer opportunities, programs for people in middle school and high school. Now, moving on to the essays. This was a very open-ended essay topic. It simply just asked why I felt I would be a good fit for this program, why I was deserving specifically of this opportunity. And honestly, when I was approached with these types of essay topics, I did something very similar to what I would do in an argumentative essay in a high school classroom. But what was really key in different parts about it were 3 things that I've kind of broken down for my essay. The first is a very strong, energetic intro. Remember that the people running these contests is reading tons of different essays, and so it makes sense to have something that is really energetic from the beginning to capture their energy and remain in their memory. So, for example, in this intro, I talk kind of what my morning looks like. I use lively language. I talk, I paint a very specific scene. You might often see this in like a college or a high school essay if you're writing about a book. But then I also have a clear thesis, and it's arguing exactly why I feel like I'm the best fit for this program. So, I talk a little bit about my experience with loving other cultures, wanting to understand more about the world. But my argument at the end of the day is the questions I'm asking can only be answered by immersive travel. And that's why I deserve this opportunity. And then, of course, the most important part of these types of applications, of these programs, is making it so distinctly clear why you are the best candidate. So the why me is always the most important part of the essay. And for me, I summed it up with a subject line. Basically, I am someone who will take the appreciation gained and employ it to create more peace in the world. I will instrumentalize this opportunity to make the world a better place. The examples I gave were other extracurriculars I had already done, and showed how I'd taken past opportunities to aim for these passions and pursuits of creating more peace in the world. But then at the end of the day, I also had this kind of qualitative statement of why I was still the best candidate. It's, if armed with the potential to experience other cultures, I know I will translate that into cross-cultural communication. This type of phrase is really important because not everyone has a ton of extracurriculars. Maybe you're early on in your high school career and still kind of figuring out what you like to do and what you don't like to do. And you can always still make an argument for why you are the right candidate, even if you don't have prior experience in that field. You can do that by just saying, these are my values, and this is what I know I will do with this given opportunity.